Well, hello. Happy Monday to everybody. I am doing a really fun Periscope this week about weddings. And I'm showing you right now these 3 wedding albums of my kids. So I am the mother of 3 married kids, and I've got room on my shelf for when my 4th gets married. So this is my family bookshelf. I'm showing you before I show you myself. And then bless our home, that is the bottom line. Oh my goodness. And then here are our wedding books for our 3 married kids. There's Brooke's wedding book. Hi, Brandon. There's Brittany's wedding book. And there's Brandon's wedding book. And they match because I made them myself. So when Bryson gets married, I'll have to add him up there. And then here is my husband and I in one of our wedding pictures. So anyway, hi y'all. Thanks for joining. We're in wedding season, and I am wanting to help everyone who's right there in wedding season. My best friend's daughter just got engaged, and unfortunately they're in Pennsylvania and I'm here, so in Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So Rhonda, this Periscope is for you, and it's for Renee and for everyone else that is really in this wedding season. And congratulations to everybody, because this is a really fun time to plan a wedding. So there's just been an engagement, and I'm the mother of the bride, okay? Now what? Well, the best case scenario is that you and your daughter have a very good relationship. That would be the best case scenario. And the best case scenario would be that great relationship would be maintained throughout the wedding planning process, and that when there's a wedding, that there would be no family stress and no turmoil during the wedding planning, and of course not at the ceremony, and then after, because the relationships are the most important thing. And it is a very exciting time to welcome a new family member. So best case scenario is that you've got a great relationship with your daughter. So when she brings a man home that she's fallen in love with, and you get to watch their relationship grow, you're so excited about this relationship, and you've got a great relationship with your son-in-law to be. And Rhonda, I know this is going to be the case for you with your son-in-law to be, that the whole process of wedding planning will be absolutely flawlessly perfect, right? Well, that is our desire, but we don't have the power to actually be sure that happens, because it would take cooperation from everybody else. But if we separate our goals and desires, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com, and do a search there and watch the past Periscopes about goals and desires. This is going to be very important during this process. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister, and I work for a state program called Together in Texas. So with Together in Texas, I do a lot of premarital counseling, and then I also get the privilege of officiating a lot of weddings, and I love that, and I hope to do more. I love officiating weddings. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I love doing premarital counseling, and I love helping families get through this process. My daughter Brooke helps with wedding planning, and we just love the whole wedding planning experience, and we've been able to do it with our 3 kids really with no trauma. Isn't that a miracle? Renee, this is for you. So the number 1 tip that I want to give the mother of the bride, here it is as soon as they announce this engagement, as soon as they do it, you are going to be excited. Your attitude is going to be one of being excited, and you're going to welcome your new son-in-law into the family. I would probably cook dinner and set the table and have him over and have a little celebration with just our family around the table and say, you know what? We are excited about you joining our family. I love really the idea of expanding a family through marriage. And so your attitude is really important, especially during this time. So you want to be supportive. And hopefully, like I say, best case scenario is that you really truly are supportive. But when you start with this, this is ideal, right? When they are engaged, Rhonda Marsh, I'm talking to you right now. The first thing you need to do is establish who is paying for the wedding. Now, in our case, it's very traditional. My husband and I planned that we would, as the mother of the bride and the mother and father of the bride, that we were going to absorb the cost of the wedding if our children respected our budget. So we had $10,000 set aside. And so we told Brooke and Scott, our first daughter, and then Brandon and Brittany, we actually had $10,000 for each child. So that is the money that we had budgeted. So y'all have to, the kids need to understand, even when they're adult, I mean, obviously they're adult children because they're marrying age, they need to understand whoever's paying for it has the power. Whoever's paying for that has the power. So the bride thinks that she has the power, and that power is going to be given to her, but it's not something that she's entitled to. So here's the way that this conversation works. We are so excited about this engagement. We just wanted to welcome you into the family and have you over for dinner. Your dad and I have discussed this, and we have $10,000 that we have prepared, and we're going to give this money as a gift to you. And so with this money, you can pay for your wedding. And if there's any fees that go beyond that, you guys can figure out how to make that work. But here's the money, and the money is a gift to you. So this is the way this works, y'all. The money has got to be a gift, which means that it is hands off. Now, if they want unlimited resources for their wedding to just plan their dream wedding, and then you just give them a blank check and say, here, sweetheart, you plan your dream wedding. Let us know how much it costs, and we'll just pay every bill. You've got a blank check. Y'all, that is not going to be good. It literally can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The fee can be so astronomical if you just give that blank check. But you want to give something. Yes, now that happened to be what our budget was. The budget might be $2,000. Hey, I always tell that people, my clients that are in my office, if you can afford a pizza, you can afford to get married. Because in the state of Texas, we offer a program called Together in Texas, and they can actually get free premarital counseling. And with that, they get a large discount on their marriage license, and their $80 marriage license will cost them $11. I always say $11, that's cheaper than a pizza. So there's no excuse that you can't afford to get married. Yes, you can. And if you want, we can go out here underneath this big oak tree, and you can put on a pretty dress, and you can put on your nice suit, and we can pick a few flowers, and I'll do the wedding just there with just the three of us, and that could be done for $11. So, there's really no excuse. Well, if that's the case, well, then they could take that money, if it was a gift, and they could take that money and use it for a honeymoon and paying a down payment on their apartment, or even a little bit towards the down payment of a house if they want to buy a house, or if they have some money to put towards that. So everyone's situation is different, but the budget must be established immediately. And as the mother of the bride and the mother and the father of the bride, that money should be a gift. Therefore, when it is a gift, then you do not remain in control. Where the family conflict comes is, it's like, who has the power? The people paying for it, or the bride and groom? It's the bride and groom wedding. So then are they entitled to make all of the decisions? Well, if they're not paying for it, then they can't make the most expensive decisions, can they? Because they're not paying for it. So they don't have the power. So whoever has the money has the power. But that's where the family conflict comes in, is if the mother of the bride, the father of the bride, he's just probably not quite as interested in wedding planning. So it tends to be the mother of the bride that causes great conflict during this wedding planning time. And that's the last thing you want, because y'all, you want great relationships above all, with your daughter and your future son-in-law, because you want to have, big Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners, and you want to be able to celebrate birthdays and holidays and all these things together for the rest of their lives. You're going to be grandparenting their children someday, so you do not want to ruin this relationship. But the relationship will become very strained, and it will ultimately be destroyed if you do not have a clear understanding of who has the power. I think it is best for the bride and groom to be able to plan their own wedding. That is a special time for them. And then as the mother of the bride, once you've given this gift that you and the father of the bride have shared, and even in a divorce situation, best case scenario is that this is, that they would share the expense of this. But whatever the gift is, you give as a gift the money to pay for the wedding, however the bride chooses. Give that as a gift, and then hands off, back off, so that the relationship is more important. Then, as the mother of the bride, you just get to be excited. And if they ask your opinion, well, you're excited to give it. And if they want help, shopping, well, that's fun. You get to go shop. And if they want, they want help making the favors, well, that's fun. You get to help make the favors. And if you're like me and you love arranging flowers, then great. Then we can buy the flowers wholesale and I get to arrange some flowers. And we can have all kinds of fun making our own wedding invitations and whatever they want to do. You can just be excited and you can participate, but you're supposed to act in the supporting role as the mother of the bride if you've given the financial part as a gift. Then the bride is responsible to, out of her income, now come closer to the wedding when she hits a crisis and runs out of money. What do you do then? Do you give her more money? Well, I would say, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. That's so disappointing that you don't have money for a DJ now. I'll tell you what. Maybe you can ask some friends, if they want to help you out with that, and be the DJ for your wedding. Who's your most outgoing friend that loves music? You didn't do a videographer and you ran out of money? Well, hey, maybe you have a friend that would like to just videotape your wedding, and, maybe you have another friend that's great at editing. I guess you're going to have some creative solutions because that's all the money we have. I would love to give you unlimited resources for your dream wedding. You deserve it. That would be wonderful. But I know that you'll figure out a way. You'll figure out a creative solution to be able to solve this problem. I just know you will. So y'all, stay in the supportive role. Stay in the supportive role. The relationship with your daughter and your future son-in-law is so much more important than the details of this wedding. Now, if I'm a little late telling you this advice and you've already got yourself in a pickle and your future son-in-law is really mad at you and your daughter is really mad at you, and if you're really mad about how much money they're spending and there's become this real power struggle between the bride's parents, the groom's parents, the bride and the groom, and all of these expectations, and there's become a lot of fighting and a real power struggle, what now? Well, what now is have the conversation now. Have the conversation now. And I do recommend doing it over the dinner table. So, number one, change your attitude. Number two, give one last gift to them and then say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have done this in the first place. And this is your wedding. And I know that you're going to figure out a way to make it a special day, and I'm going to stay out of it. I will just buy my mother of the bride dress, and I'm going to come early enough to be in the pictures, and except for these things that are my particular responsibilities, I'm just going to stay out of it. I'm going to love y'all. I'm going to pray for you. And I know that you guys are going to figure this out. And I'm sorry for getting in the middle of your plans. I want to just be a support to you. And I just want you to know that I love you. And I'll be here to just fix chicken dinner whenever y'all get hungry. Come on home for dinner. And I'm just going to support you, and then give them that last gift, whatever that is. It's hard being the bride of an unsupportive mother. Yeah, that's a good point. And if that is the situation, well, I'm actually going to keep periscoping. I'm going to periscope as a bride, as a groom, and the father of the bride, so each different role needs to know what your role is. But if you have an unsupportive mother, you can still be the kind of daughter that holds more value over that relationship than you do the wedding day. So if your mom is unsupportive and she doesn't like the choice that you've made with your husband, or she's not supportive because she doesn't have any money, I'm not sure what your particular stress is. It could be all different things, and it could be different things on different days. The best thing to do is to say, Mom, I hear you. I hear you. And I don't, okay, so she doesn't understand, not a Christian. So you have different religious views. You say, Mom, I hear you. Mom, I love you. And I hear you. I hear your concerns. I hear you. You know, Mom, if you'd like to come to the wedding, I'd love to have you there. Be there at 4:00 on Saturday. And if that's not going to be good for you, I'm going to be okay with that. And I promise you, I will still love you if you can't make it to my wedding. But don't show up intoxicated. You know, if your mom's a drunk, you know, don't show up intoxicated, because, you know, I'll have to ask you to leave. But just come, Mom, you know, sit on the front row, and it's going to be a great day. And I would love to have you there, you know, and that's the best you can do. A goal is something that you have the power to make it happen. So in order for it to be a goal, you have to have all the power. Anything that takes cooperation from somebody else must be in a desire category, because it's a desire, it's not a goal. So you must separate your goals and desires. She's projecting her issues. Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. So they'll project their fears, their issues on you, and that's where it works to say, Mom, I hear you. Mom, I get it. I get it. You know, I hear you, Mom. And just, you know, just keep telling her that you hear her, and just say, you know, when she says, well, I don't know, if he's this and he's that, then this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Just say, Mom, I hear you. You might be right. I'm willing to take the risk, you know. So as long as she feels heard, you can salvage that relationship. But really, you know, just separate your goals and desires. You know, it's your goal to have a great attitude throughout this process. It's a goal to stay within your budget. It's a goal to go to premarital counseling. It's a goal to, you know, to invite people to the wedding. It's your desire that people come to the wedding. It's your desire that your mom will be, you know, excited for you. It's your desire, you know, that you'll get a discount, you know, on certain, you know, on your dress, you know, but you don't have the power to make that happen, but you do have the power to keep shopping for a dress that's on sale. You know, separate your goals and desires, because you don't have the power to make sure that everybody's going to, you know, behave correctly. Yes, and do keep praying. You know, it's a goal to pray, and it's a desire, of course, that people will change their attitudes and change their heart. We don't have the power to make that happen, but we do know that prayer is something that matters. It makes a difference in our own life. It makes a difference in our own heart, and prayer is powerful to really impact their heart too. So you want to just keep praying, because God can do things that we can't do, but just keep your attitude right during the process. Brides, mothers of the bride, mothers of the groom, y'all just keep your attitudes great. That's the most important thing. So I talked a little bit about the role of the mother of the bride, and then tonight at 9:00 tonight, I'm going to talk about the role of a mother of the groom, because I've been both. I've been the mother of the bride twice. I've been the mother of the groom once, and I've got one coming up. But this is a beautiful time of adding to your family. So don't destroy it by being controlling or being fearful or being opinionated. You know, this is a time that you really step back once you've given that gift. But God bless you guys. I hope that one really important tip helps you, because that will help you survive. I promise you. But yeah, tell her to listen to my Periscope. There you go. She can catch the replay, and eventually it'll be on my website. But God bless you guys. Have a great day. Happy wedding planning. Congratulations on your engagement. And I'll be back at 9:00 tonight. God bless you. Bye-bye.